Good morning.
Thanks for talking to us today, ahead of a busy weekend for yourself. You're up in Oxford this weekend, of course, for the charity premiere of Oxford Murders.
That is absolutely right, yes.
First of all, before we talk about the film, when I was growing up, I loved Elephant Man. I'm sure you've heard that quite a few times before, but I had a fascination with it because my auntie worked at the London Hospital. So I was fascinated when she used to see, we obviously worked in the place where John Merrick was, and I couldn't believe, actually, just looking into it this morning, that what year was that film?
We shot that in 1979-80, right at the end of 1979, beginning of 1980.
It just seems incredible to me, because I asked Sue the same question a while ago, and Sue said, in the 60s sometime?
Well, yes, it was shot in black and white. It was David Lynch, whose first film it was, apart from Eraserhead, which is, I might say, some apart from. But it was his first film, and I don't think he would ever, and he stipulated that he would only do it if he could do it in black and white.
I just couldn't believe it. It's a fascinating fact that I thought, crikey, no way, 1980, amazing.
Yes, it's earlier. It's not that long. Well, it's long enough ago. It's 28 years.
I'm sitting here thinking, great, the first thing we've done is technically insult him by me thinking the movie was the 60s, thus placing you at being about 126.
Well,
now, John, you've got a couple of kids yourself. I think
do.
sort of 18 or 20 years old, something like that?
Yes, I didn't start having children until I was 50.
And are they going to follow your footsteps into the acting world?
One of them is very keen to do so. The older of the two is, he's just got into Fm Oxfordshire, so he wants to be a painter.
You've made my day, because as Trevor keeps referring to me as being up on the shelf, me at the age of 36, these boys walk past me going, tick, 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 oh, what's that? Oh, biological clock.
Well,
was it like having children slightly older than most people?
Well, I don't know what it was like having them younger, so I found it most exciting.
Yeah.
It's still exciting. Of course it is. I can't tell you when Sasha got into Fm Oxfordshire, my jaw nearly hit the ground with delight. I was wouldn't have known that I could be so thrilled.
Trevor,
Yeah.
just to let you know, is expecting a baby imminently, and when I say imminently, he keeps picking his phone up throughout talking to you. His wife is actually due this Saturday.
Boy, is that imminent, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is that close. So can we get on with this?
Move it quickly. Come on.
So
What do you want to know? Quick.
Well, we want to know. I do want to know what it was. What it's been like being John Hurt over the years and starring in so many good movies. What's that really been like?
Oh, that's a great question, isn't it? What's that been like? It's had its moments.
What's the best moment?
The best moments are realised, basically. I mean, if you want to distill it down, the best moment and make the moments into sort of a collection of moments, as it were. I think when you actually can believe that you've done something that has affected somebody's life for the better. That's kind of thrilling, that. Not often can you believe it, You think, can't be me. Must be something else.
And what's the role that really has, I guess, made you or made you that you've most enjoyed doing?
Well, the role that changed really the business's perception of me and also the public's perception of me was Naked Civil Servant, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody has one of those. Completely unexpected. Not a subject that one would have expected it from either. It was very, very outre at the time. I was advised not to do it several times because they said you'd never work again. I suppose that's one of the best moments, is when it was successful, when I'd been told by so many people that I'd made the wrong choice.
And am I making this up, or is there rumour or talk of there being something more happening with that in the future?
It's getting more than rumour now, I think.
Oh.
Yes. I think it looks... I haven't signed on any dotted line as yet.
Right.
But the dotted line looks as though it's very much near completion.
Okay, and can you tell us more about that?
Somebody has written a version of Quentin's life, which is in the same kind of vein as his early biography, about the second half of his life in New York. I was very reluctant to revisit, I have to say,
Sure.
because I think once you've done something like that, it's not easy to go back to it. But it was so well written, and I think it will be, if we do it well, it'll be a very, very good one to do.
Now, you say that that's wonderfully written, and that's why you've nearly signed on the dotted line. Is that what draws you to most films and subsequently the Oxford Murders?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the writer. The springboard for me is always the script.
And possibly the director as well. Now, tell us a bit about Alex, who's directed Oxford Murders.
Well, Alex is a wonderful character.
Now
and I was sitting in the Wolseley waiting to meet him because I'd never met him or anything, and we were going to talk about the film in the Wolseley restaurant in London. And suddenly this vision, he's a big man. He's not particularly tall, but he is distinctly large. And he came crashing through the door like an explosion. Came over to my table, he somehow managed to know who I was anyway, and came over and he said, "I am probably the wrong director for this film." So I looked at him and I said, "Well, it's perfectly possible that I'm the wrong actor, so let's make a big mistake together."
Oh, fantastic.
Well, it looks fast-moving, fast-paced, and as you said, it obviously touches on a very deep subject with regards to physics and mathematics when it comes to solving murders.
What I like about this as a thriller is that normally the plot is all very well worked out, and very precise, like a jigsaw puzzle. In this one, the plot is actually devised as you go along. It happens in front of your face.
Because the characters debate, and I've read about this, I don't know about this at all, several logical series of Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty.
Yes, that comes into it too.
Pythagoreans, we've got also the Vesica Pisces.
Oh, that.
And the Gödel's theorem. Now, can you explain that for us, John?
No, I can't possibly. I'm not a mathematician. That's most unfair of you. My father would have been able to explain it to you perfectly.
Now, what was it like shooting it here in Oxford?
Well, Oxford I know quite well anyway, so it's a great delight seeing Elijah there, because he was there for the first time. So I was sort of getting a second, a spurious kind of thrill out of seeing his thrill from being in Oxford.
Sure.
And he was loving it. It was my county town. I lived in Ascot-on-Wychwood for some time.
Right.
So I know Oxford quite well myself. I have to say, I love the city.
It looks like it's going to be a marvellous kind of boost for tourism here. Not that Oxford really needs it, but some beautiful shots, the Radcliffe camera, I think the Bodleian. How much of the movie actually is shot in Oxford? Because I know it does move to London.
Well, it's basically most of the exteriors.
Fantastic.
And one or two of the interiors. But most of the interiors are shot in London for obvious reasons, because there wasn't enough in Oxford to be able to get them on location.
It's funny, actually, because I'm originally from Liverpool. When I try and explain what it's like in Oxford, I always say to my friends and family, "Oh, do you know, it's just like living on a film set," and that's why it's such a great place to film a film.
Well, absolutely, it is. Well, you're from Liverpool, and you're from Australia, are you not?
Well, that's what Oxford's like, really, isn't it?
That's its glory. Nobody comes from Oxford.
Thank you for not calling me a New Zealander. You've made my day.
I know you're not a New Zealander. You didn't say fish and chips.
Fish and chips or sooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sooks.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, look, it's been a pleasure talking to you, John. Good luck with the movie.
Well, thank you very much.
From your first film of The Wild and the Willing in 1962 through to the Oxford Murders, what's next for you?
I'm doing a film, just started rehearsing yesterday, a film called 44-Inch Chest, which is written by David Sinto and same boys that wrote Sexy Beast.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I love that film.
Yeah, and it's an amazing script. If we get it right, it'll be a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do the Quentin, and then I'm going to probably, I might be doing a Shakespeare on film later in the year.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
John, thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Have
Lovely.
a good day.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye now.